Kelly Rudy, a great job with your charity gala in Calgary this evening. Luke Gazdick, thanks as always for coming aboard.
Pleasure.
Elliot and Kevin, thank you. MacKenzie Weegar. It was fun watching Scott the Cat and Mouse. Ryan, you showed it in the warm-up the other night when he would refuse to leave the ice, never throws in the towel except for you two. Scott, to you.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. Yes, MacKenzie Weegar's second appearance on After Hours. We first had you on in October of 23, shortly after you were traded from Florida to Calgary. You're a much bigger deal since then. But first, we have to talk about the toughest loss of the season, Ryan.
Well, yeah, MacKenzie, I mean, everybody knows what's at stake for your group. This is a huge stretch for you. This was a massive game. You gain the point, which is, I guess, the silver lining that keeps you very much in the conversation. But how tough a blow was it to see the way it all went down, especially given where you were on the ice tonight?
I mean, first of all, thanks for having me, boys. It's always a pleasure coming on with you guys. And, you know, as a Canadian kid, I always, you know, everybody back home is always watching this stuff, so it's a pleasure. But, yeah, it was obviously a tough bounce at the end of the game. I feel like our team right now is, you know, I hate excuses and all that stuff, but it's been tough for us to get a little bit of a break right now. And, you know, but that's just our team. You know, we battle through that stuff. And, you know, as much as it's a tough loss, we gained a point out of it. We're still in the conversation, like you said, and there's full belief in that dressing room still right now. There's, you know, you turn the page quick. You know, you get after it here on the road, going into a little California trip. And, you know, the boys will get together for a little team dinner, I'm sure, and, you know, have a big game against San Jose. But, you know, the eyesight is San Jose, and we keep plugging along here.
Yeah. MacKenzie, the Flames hanging tough, especially in the second half of the season. It's been a big story around the NHL, and if you measure that, as I said in the opening tonight, against what the experts expected you to do this season as a team, which was not much, it makes it an even bigger story. The normal response of a professional athlete is, who cares what the experts think?
Yeah.
But I just wonder if those preseason predictions were almost offensive to you and your teammates.
Of course. I mean, you know, Naz always likes the term the experts, whatever that means, right? But that's just motivation for our group. There's reality to it, too, you know. I mean, if you look at pen and paper, we'd all agree with you. The skill and the talent, we don't have that. We're a team that knows how to buy in and what we need to do. And, you know, we took it as a little bit of a chip on the shoulder. And that's our motivation this year. And we're going to use that right until the end. And the boys have done a great job, you know, coming from Connie all the way down to Huss, to the leadership group, to everybody. Everybody's buying into that sort of identity that we have. The culture is great in our dressing room. Nothing matters on the outside. We know our game. We know how to win our style of hockey. And, you know, of course, that's motivation. You hate hearing, you know, what your expectations are going to be, especially when they said 31 or 32, bottom of the league. And, you know, we're
somewhere between last and dead last, I think.
Yeah, so we love that motivation.
Coming into tonight, you were plus 13 on a team with a minus 22 goal differential, which says a lot about your season. Your 20-goal season last year put you on Team Canada's radar for the Four Nations Cup, or Four Nations Face-Off, and you were very nearly there. So it follows that you're on Team Canada's radar for the Olympics next year. Have you thought about that at all?
Of
course you have.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I'd be lying if I said no. I've said that at the beginning, you know, in December. It's been an honor to even be in the conversation for the Four Nations. You know, I never really thought, you know, growing up, I'd be in conversation with, you know, Four Nations or Olympics, and it's pretty special. So, like you said, the plus minus and all that, I give credit to, you know, Wolfie and Vladdy. They've been great for me. You know, bailing me out at certain times. Joel, you know, Nacho has been a great partner for me. He's been unbelievable. I can't say enough great things about him. But, you know, the Olympics it's still on my mind, and it's something I want to make. But right now, you stay in the moment here and, you know, focus on, you know, what's at hand.
You have played internationally for Team Canada, right?
Yeah, and chatting with you, as I have the last couple of years, just about what that experience meant for you, because you got on their radar in a big way, and I know how much it meant to you personally.
It's World Championships in 23.
That was an unbelievable tournament. I can't say enough great things about that group of guys and, you know, that coaching staff. I've never been, you know, I talk about Team Canada East when I was 16 years old. It wasn't nearly as exciting as this was. This was, you know, on a bigger scale with, you know, the top players in the world overseas. My whole family was there. I had some friends come out too, and we just had a blast. It was, you represent your country, and that was an extreme honor, but you're there with your family, and they're representing Canada as well, and you're playing for them. But that group of guys, like, we got together in Budapest, and it's like we played together for 3-4 years. It was an absolute blast. So I got nothing but great things to say about that tournament, and I'm glad we won that gold, and I'm glad I had a pretty solid tournament.
Yeah. You beat Germany 5-2 in the final. You were named the best defenseman of the tournament, and you finished 5th in scoring. So clearly you love playing for Team Canada. Just across a few parking lots is the Flames' new building. Scotia Place is under construction, and who knows if it would have been had you not brought all parties together with your exit interview a couple of years ago.
Well, I think we need a new rink, maybe. That'll help. You know, I think the Saddle Dome's obviously got some character, but maybe a couple updates will make it a little bit better. But I think for the guys and the teammates, we have fun together.
Okay, so negotiations had been dragging on. The deal was on, then it was off, and then it was on again after your
bringing a new
passion plea.
Yeah.
And now that the House of Weegs is being built, ready for the 27-28 season, tell us what happened after that comment.
Yeah. That's a great clip. The boys still give it to me for that. But I remember in the summertime, I got a call from a European number, and I wasn't really sure who it was. And of course, it's Murray Edwards, Mr. Murray Edwards, and he came on pretty strong there. I wasn't sure if he was joking. He said, "Congratulations, you got the guys the new rink." And I started laughing, but I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be laughing. And he said, "I'll make a deal with you. I'll name it the Weegar Rink, but you got to give up your contract." And I didn't know what to say. I said, "I'll talk to my agent." And of course, I'd never do that. But he was good about it. I mean, we talked about hockey after that. He's a great owner. I mean, but that's definitely one of those shaky conversations. You're not sure really too.
You took a shot.
Yeah.
Well, listen, J Lamb 24 asks, if you have so much influence, why can't you get a Shake Shack built in Calgary? You don't have to answer that.
I'd love a Shake Shack in there.
Let's go back a little bit in time to Nepean. Ryan.
Yeah, earlier this year you had a chance to go ahead and go back to where some of it began for you in Nepean, and maybe just take us through, having number 52 recognized and honored, and of course the history that you have there.
Yeah, that's another stepping stone in my career. Obviously, great photos here with my family and Mags, but special night altogether. Obviously, got honored with Randy Watt, the late Randy Watt, and what a great man he was. But that moment, you never really grow up thinking that your number is going to be retired for your hometown junior team, and special, time for me. I'm glad I got to fly in there a day early, and they let me fly in a day early to see everybody, but just in front of my friends and family, everybody that supported me the whole way. That's not just my number going up there, it's my family and friends as well. So it's special.
Randy Watt was honored the same night. He got a Lifetime Achievement Award. He was the longtime general manager of the Nepean Raiders. He was battling ALS and sadly passed away in December. How do you remember him?
There's so many great memories of Randy. Obviously Debbie as well, his wife, just an all-around great family. They raised two amazing boys. Obviously, Brandon's my best buddy, but what he's done for the community in Nepean and what he's done for that organization, that team, he built that team. He was there for a couple of decades, and, just an all-around stand-up human being, just tons of respect. Coached me in minor hockey. He inspired us as young kids, when we didn't really know what was going on, and he made me a better player and a better kid. He'd go into the house, and they were pretty strict, so they had me on the ropes a little bit in there, and we had a blast, Brandon and I and Randy, at hockey tournaments and growing up, and I miss him a lot, and I know Brandon's back home, and I'd love to be with him as well. He's a great friend of mine, and he'll be deeply missed.
Mackenzie, any plans for this summer? Anything going on we should know about?
Oh, yeah. That's Les for sure. Of course, getting married to the wonderful Maggie Wallace. And, she was on basically a 2-week bachelorette here, so she's probably getting some sleep here, but she's been great. She's been my rock, obviously. Nothing, the support sometimes when you're going through a rough patch, she's always there to, help me out and talk me out of things, and looking forward to that wedding. It's been a long time coming, so she's been with me a long time, so I'm glad that we can, hitch it up.
I ran into her just before the game started, and I said, "Any good stories you can share?" She said, "Not one." So she's good.
No, yeah. No, she's great. She knows she's got a tight lip. Everything that she can talk to you about, I'm sure she's got to keep it tight.
Well, we understand it's going to be a very small and intimate affair with only about 200 or 300 people so in Montreal, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I wish we had more time, but
Yeah.
tonight's game went on at some length, and unfortunately not the result that you would hope for.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight, MacKenzie.
Yeah.
MacKenzie Weegar leaving his mark all over the Flames on and off the ice. He was our guest on After Hours. Back to Scotiabank Saddledome in a moment.